The seconds after I whispered to her felt eternal. Her eyes widened, panic flashing like a spark in the darkness. For a moment, I thought she might confess, apologize, even admit the cruel plan she had whispered to me just minutes ago. But instead, she recovered almost instantly. Her mask snapped back into place. Calm, perfect, untouchable. "Mom," my son's voice came from the aisle, cheerful. Unaware of the tension that gripped my chest, I almost flinched at the sound. He was radiant in his tuxedo, smiling at her with the purest love I had ever seen. The knowledge of her deception made the smile ache, a physical pain pressing against my heart. I had to act carefully. One wrong move, and the entire wedding could collapse. One misstep, and the life my son had built, his happiness, everything would be shattered. I forced myself to steady my breathing. Calm. I had to remain calm. She straightened her shoulders, subtly adjusting her bouquet, and gave a polite nod toward the guests, as if nothing had happened. Her smile was pristine, but I could see the tension in her jaw, the slight twitch of her eyes. She was hiding something, and I knew then that this was no ordinary betrayal. This was calculated. The officiant moved forward, asking if anyone had objections. My stomach dropped. This was the moment to stop everything. I could stand, speak, reveal what I had heard, and potentially save my son. But even as my lips parted, doubt seized me. What if I misunderstood? What if my emotions twisted reality into something worse than it was? I glanced at her again. Her eyes met mine for the briefest instant. That flicker of acknowledgement. It was subtle but unmistakable. She knew I knew, and that knowledge alone changed the dynamics entirely. My heart raced as the words of the ceremony continued. "Do you take this person to be your lawfully wedded spouse?" The officiant asked. My son's answer was clear, confident, full of hope. I felt a lump in my throat. Every syllable he spoke was now tainted with the knowledge that his trust had been threatened before the vows were even exchanged. And then it happened. A sudden whisper reached my ear, so faint I almost didn't catch it. "Everything will go according to plan." It was her. She leaned toward me slightly, so close that her perfume brushed my senses. Her words, a cold whisper, meant only for me. My blood ran cold. She had a plan, and whatever it was, it involved my son. I clenched my fists, forcing myself to think. I needed to understand her motives. Why would someone betray a man she was supposed to love on the very day of his wedding? Was it money, power, revenge, or something darker, more personal? As if reading my thoughts, she smiled ever so slightly, a secretive, knowing curve of her lips. It made my skin crawl. This was not a woman acting impulsively. She had calculated every move, every word, every glance. The ceremony proceeded. Rings exchanged. Guests cheered. My son looked happier than I had ever seen him. Blissfully unaware of the storm brewing inches away, I wanted to scream, to pull him out, to demand that he see her for who she truly was. But I couldn't. Not yet. I had to play this carefully, or I risked losing everything at once. I made a decision. I would observe. I would gather evidence. If she truly intended to betray him, I had to catch it in action. There was no room for error, no room for assumptions. My instincts screamed at me that this was bigger than a single deceit. It was a scheme, and I had to uncover it before it was too late. I watched her closely, noting every subtle gesture, every slight movement of her hands, the way she adjusted her gown, the way her eyes flitted across the crowd. Every detail mattered. Every tiny clue could reveal the truth. And then, something unexpected happened. She excused herself, claiming she needed a moment. The guests barely noticed, engrossed in the wedding bliss. But I knew this was my opportunity. I followed at a distance, keeping out of sight, determined to learn what she was planning. We reached a quiet corridor behind the hall. She paused, glancing around to ensure no one could see. And then, she took out her phone, rapidly typing a message. My eyes narrowed. Who was she texting? And what did it say? Curiosity overpowered caution. I crept closer, careful to remain hidden, and managed to catch a few words. Everything is set. After tonight it's done. He won't see it coming. My heart sank. Confirmation. It wasn't a misunderstanding. She intended exactly what I had feared. My son's happiness was a pawn in her plan. I clenched my fists, feeling a surge of anger and fear. I had to stop her. But how? The wedding was imminent. The guests were just outside. Any confrontation now could create scandal, ruin the day, and possibly push my son into heartbreak before he even realized the truth. I weighed my options, heart pounding, confront her publicly, and risk chaos, or find a way to delay, distract, or uncover the full extent of her plan before vows were exchanged. I noticed something else. A tiny slip of emotion. Her hands trembled ever so slightly, and her shoulders stiffened. Perhaps she wasn't completely composed. Perhaps there was a crack I could exploit. And then, just as I formulated a plan, a shadow fell across the corridor. Someone else was there. Another figure, tall, watching. My blood ran cold. Was she working with someone? Was there a bigger scheme I hadn't anticipated? The figure stepped into the dim light, and my heart leapt. It was a man I didn't recognize, watching her intently. The way they exchanged a glance confirmed my suspicion. This was no ordinary betrayal. There was more at play than I had imagined. My mind raced. I needed to act, but carefully. Every step, every word, every movement had to be calculated. One wrong choice could destroy everything. And then she turned toward me, her eyes locking with mine again. A silent message passed between us. I know you're watching. You can't stop me. The wedding march echoed faintly from the hall, a cruel reminder that time was running out. My son was moments away from exchanging vows with a woman who had already planned his heartbreak. I had to make a decision, and quickly. To make a decision, and quickly.